How we doing, everybody? This is Relly and Teach, and this is Caffeinated, where if it's in a can, in a tub, syrup, powder, we kind of do it all here. And let me tell you something. Let's just start this first episode off with a bang. Teach, I've been looking forward to this. So, I guess a controversial one to many is I want to ask you this because you brought it up, and I had a sample of it. You told me you kind of got screwed on yours, or just kind of bad luck, whatever it is. Give me your honest feelings of a G Fuel Phase 51.
All right, so I got Area 51 about the collector box, and my first experience was kind of rough. Um, First time right out of the go, I got like no melon, definitely no sherbet, sorbet, however you want to pronounce it. I feel like I had to reach for the melon, and personally, I also feel like there's a weird texture to it. Like it gave me a weird tongue feeling. I know others were having a weird mouth feeling to it. So right out of the gate, wasn't the most impressed. Honestly, it's probably my least favorite so far of everything I've tried, especially with the FaZe label slapped on
We'll be getting to that more later on. It's like when I tasted it,
it.
I get this honeydew, if that makes any sense, and cucumber. So, like for me, right, the way I would describe it is it sounds good if you were to have like a hot tea, if you were like to steep it a little bit or make it in a pot, whatever. But you know how like when you have like a hot tea and when it gets cold it tastes like crap and you don't want it anymore?
uh,
That's kind of what it tastes like to me.
See,
It's
I
like
don't
you
mind
get
honeydew, but
yeah, neither
like,
do I.
I get what you're going with. I don't drink a lot of tea personally.
It didn't have sweetness. It didn't have bitterness. It didn't have like that reach that you get from like a lot of flavors. You know what I mean? It didn't have a fruit. It didn't have a sweet. Nothing.
So like I was really disappointed because I was looking forward to it being like a sherbet flavor, but the fact that it had nothing and any kind of resemblance, like I know we've talked about before, strawberry slushy. They did an outstanding like out of the park job of like
Outstanding.
creating a actual like slushiest flavor.
Absolutely.
Nothing was resemblance of a sorbet flavor there. Especially with the melon part, I lit like when I say I felt like I had to reach, like I was personally trying to just hold it in my mouth, like an actual gulp of the flavor, trying to taste any bit of the melon, honeydew. Like it just literally felt like it was water with just a tiny bit of powder on. Like it, I couldn't taste anything from it. Honestly, it
I
wasn't
mean,
great.
I was kind of thinking the same thing too. It's like you close your eyes, you got your mouth full of liquid, and you're just kind of like, It just didn't hit the mark. Now the way that I grade my flavors differently, I do it on a 1 to 5 star basis. It's kind of like bad is one, or I'm saying awful is one, bad is two, okay is three, good is four, great, wonderful, amazing is five. Like to me, I think it was just okay, but more. I think it's more like a 2.5 star because it's like it's not bad, but okay. I would actually like buy another tub of, or I would enjoy it again. Bad or awful, I'm not trying again, or I'm not trying to buy a tub of it.
So like I have a similar scale. I just make mine a little bit more broader. I go up to 10. Like
Ah,
5 being average, 6 being like above, 7 like we're getting good, and then so on, and then like under it, not so great. 1 being bad, wouldn't do it again. I personally rated like a strong 3.54. Like it was very
ooh.
below average for me.
Now I've had a hard time with that is because like if you go back to when you're a kid in school, right? It's like if you got a 6 out of 10 on a quiz or something, and sure enough they label it as a D, it's like that's not great. If somebody says, "Hey, dude, do you like it?" It's a 6 out of 10. That's it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like if you're like, "Hey, it's a 3 star." Okay, I'll give it a shot. It's a 8 out of 10. Okay, it's a 4 star. I'll give it a shot. You know what I mean? It's
So
like
like
if it's like a 9 plus, it's a 5 star. You know what I mean?
to build off that point, because you made a perfect example there. So like in school, a D is technically passing. That didn't pass it. Like that did not pass the mark. It did not understand the excitement. To me, it failed. It was a straight F. Like D minus, F plus. It did not hit the mark.
Well, at the same time, the same side of the coin, it's like if you want to go anything between 1 and 5, right? To me, it's like, how do you? describe failure. Like original bubblegum, failure. Sour chug rug to me because the way that I was kind of drinking it, it was too sour and tart for me to just because I sip mine throughout the day. I kind of enjoy it a little bit. It's like I'm not enjoying something that's too sour and too tart. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
For a longevity of time. You're not supposed to drink it like it's from a shot glass.
Depends on who you ask there, Chief.
Well, that too, but I mean, it's like if it's too sour and tart for the user's preference, of course, it's like it's not bad, but at the same time, it's not in the okay category. So that's why I put as a 2 star. Now, some people I've heard say that's a 3 out of 10 for me.
You
That's
know,
kind of who
I
you ask.
I respect everybody's like flavor opinions. Everybody has their own perspective. Respectably, all of our taste buds are different, different strokes for different folks. But like when I hear people that are like, "Oh my gosh, Area 51, it's like a 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10." And I'm like, "I want you to look deep inside yourself. Is it actually? Like really think
Help
about it."
me.
Yeah, for real. Like I just want to know like are you okay? Like is everything all right? Like to me, I don't know how people are getting that kind of flavor review out of it. It is honestly probably out of my 7 8 years of drinking G Fuel the first flavor, other than like of course your major bad hitters like bubblegum, as we said. Like it's the first flavor that really missed the mark for me.
Yeah, and there's like some that are just okay that have like a lot of hype. Like I'm pretty sure you've mentioned Shiny Splash, and
Shiny splash.
the first time I tried it, I said it's just okay, but I tried a NAR sample of it, and I'll just say this: it's good. It's one of those flavors that are a little more watered down. I'm not sure if they have a can of it, but if they don't, they should.
Shiny splash.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, they don't.
I was about to say I don't think they do, but they should.
I'm sure Adrav's trying to get that in the works already, as is.
I think it deserves it. But since we're on that topic, what's to you is the best phase flavor, and what's the worst for you?
So I hate to like skip the assignment and go with the worst mark here already because we were just talking about it, but like as I was saying, Area 51, it's the worst phase flavor in my opinion. Um, but on the best side, I love, and I'm talking love, like to me, this is an easy 8, almost 9 out of 10 flavors, Phase X. I don't care what G Fuel says. I don't care
Ooh.
what they label it as. It's straight up white cherry Gatorade. They made their
Yep,
own white
yep,
cherry Gatorade, and
yep.
it's bomb. Um, Faceberry, it's a solid flavor. To me, it's like a 6. It's like an average flavor. It's not bad. It's nothing incredible. I know some people don't like to hear that. That's just my take. Sour Faceberry, it's really good as well. Same thing. I just wish the sour was there. It's just kind of like not sour. Like I'm expecting some like Carnage kind of sour.
Gotcha.
Raging Gummy Fish, it's about the same. It's not a bad one. It's about average. Like I definitely see the Swedish Fish to it. It's pretty good, but Phase X has to take the cake for me.
I gotcha. And I'm pretty up there with it because I mean I have it in hydration as well. I mean because I need a Gatorade substitute as well, and I mean it's just easier to have it in powder form. It's like I keep a tub at work and boom, here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so worst for you is 51 and best is
Phase
Phase
X.
X.
Oh yeah.
Phase X is up there for me, but I'm going with Battle Juice
Really?
for my favorite. Yes.
Okay. I
Just
respect it.
I mean I just like my fruits and stuff. I mean, you could say by genetics I just love the pineapple, but it's just kind of like as soon as you take the first sip, you're just kind of like, wow, mood.
Nah, I love pineapple myself, so I definitely get that. Like I remember the old days when they just had straight pineapple before they made it to Battle Juice, and it was definitely an improved upon formula from that. So Battle Juice is quite good. I'll give you that one. I can see it.
Now, you're probably a lot of people are gonna disagree with this one, but I tried this sample a couple of times, and my opinion just hasn't changed. But last time I had gummy fish, it just tasted like Robitussin to me, man. I can't do it. Seriously, like that's the thing why I'm scared of cherry. Like the flavors that I kind of get scared of. Grape doesn't agree with me because you get that cough syrup taste. And some people are like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, kid, when were you born? 2001. Okay, so quiet down for me. Because if you're a 90s kid, You remember having a cold, the school brought you home or whatever, and here's your mom. Come on, it's grape flavored. Don't give me that. It's horrible. I taste grape cough syrup from the grape. And there's a lot of people that say, shut up, it's amazing. I'm like, listen, if you're one of those guys that took a Sprite and iced tea and put a scoop of cough syrup in there to get drunk, please so help me, don't talk to me. Don't do it. Watermelon, just because it doesn't agree with me, makes me gag. But it's like the cherry, where it's like here, the gummy fish, there was like at first a weird texture barrier kind of thing. But then it's like you taste like this medicine type of thing. It reminds you of Robitussin. It sucks. It's like I wanted to like it. I really did. But if you give me that cough syrup taste, I'm not down with it. I'm not about it.
So I definitely get where you're coming from. I can definitely see your points on that. For me, I didn't get that personally, but I definitely see where you're coming at. Um, I mean, maybe I just haven't taken medicine in some years to fully like get the same response that you had, but I definitely can see it. I got more of the candy flavor from Raging Gummy Fish, but I know like that one's a big hit or miss for a lot of people. You either like it or you just leave it in the trash. You empty it out.
Same thing with bubble gum. Yeah. It's like
Oh yeah, gosh,
I had
don't get
one
me
guy,
started.
I've only had one guy say it was like it's an okay flavor to me. And I'm like, this is either horrible or good to people.
I've
There's
not,
not much between.
I've never heard anybody say it's good. Honestly,
There's some people out there. There's this guy, Cody, forget the last name, thing it begins with a C. Yeah, he was skeptical of it. Sure enough, the candy BOGO came around. He bought a tub and he goes, I'm glad I like it, guys.
we're like glad you did because we left plenty for you.
It's like, hey man, if you like it, do yourself a favor. If you love it so much, somebody's gonna have a tub for wicked cheap on here. Hit them up.
Oh yeah, I mean that's not even one usually. It seems like nowadays it's even harder to find because not many people scooped it up and saved seal tubs of it. They're just like, nope, I'm not about it. I don't want to pick any up. So like, those ones are a little harder to find.
Yeah, there's not many times where it's just like, guys, 39 out of 40, hit me up.
Yeah. I,
Like usually there's never an okay. It's like I had it and I'm done.
so like, quick off topic on topic of this because you just made the point and we made a point about like labels and everything as well. Um, I always feel like, and it's just my humble personal opinion, whenever I see somebody white top a tub and they're like $40 sealed, yada yada, or like open one scoop out, I'm like, I feel like you should be paying me to take that off your hands since you just white topped it. Like it's not hard to make a crisp, clean, like cut into it, keep that top on. Like I personally am not a fan of white tops.
I think it's all personal preference. I mean,
Oh, it's for sure.
I white topped. I mean, there is I mean other brands they have the white or black top dependent, but I mean it's like for me, I got an ice shatter tub and it is white top that I got off some guy and it's like, listen man, there's only 3 or 4 scoops taken out of it, $20 plus the ride. I got 2 from him. It was $5 for the shipping. He had a voucher, everything, and cool guy and everything else, but it's just like I originally bought it for the artwork, and then I tried the sample again, and I'm like, top 5.
Oh yeah, Ice Shatter's a banger.
It's an absolute banger. Now, there's a lot of people that talk about the flavor. To me, I think it's Mountain Dew Voltage
It's a
Diet.
diet.
You know, as in like there's no sugar in it. So
Okay, okay, I see what you're saying. At that point, I was like, one, there isn't a diet voltage, but like 110%. They like, I've tried the cans. I love Ice Shatter as this. It is Mountain Dew voltage to a T. They have knocked it out of the park. It's like, I don't know what they're doing in their labs, what Gamma Labs is doing over there, but they're like taking other people's stuff and then just putting in their own powder form, and they're knocking these out of the park.
hey, I'm just saying, there's so many people that make generic things of Mountain Dew. I could see them like if they made like some sort of Mountain Dew hybrid. Oh my goodness. I can't imagine PepsiCo would be in trouble. I mean, they're already in trouble now that they got freaking ice shatter in a tub like this, and you don't have to go to the gas station.
I mean,
What
how
on?
you could probably even argue like Stonks or like Hive Nectar are close to Livewire.
Yeah,
You could even say like Phase X is close to Whiteout.
yeah, you can. Like the fact, like PepsiCo is gonna get in trouble with these, and I say PepsiCo because those are the flavors they nailed down that Coca-Cola didn't.
I mean, you got a point there.
The only thing that I actually said, and I think this should be sometime for like a summer thing, maybe collab or whatever. One thing I've wanted Gamma Labs to do, and I'm not sure how difficult it will be, but if you could replicate things like pie crust and pie filling and Mountain Dew's own flavors, is there a chance that they can do like a cherry cola or their own version of a Mountain Dew? Something around there. I mean, it's definitely possible, but the question is, would they do it?
I think they could definitely do a Mountain Dew flavor. Um, the cola one that's interesting because like they have a pretty knocked out of the park like down pat cherry. I just don't know
Yeah,
how cola would be in powder form and like a liquidy like mixture.
agreed.
That would
Because
be
it's
kind
like,
of a weird one.
yeah, because cola you get from, it's a syrup.
Yep.
It's like, how can you make this for a powder? That is the one thing I'm concerned. And I think the cherry will save them because they do have cherries pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of people that were disappointed from the oozes from the Venom and the Carnage. But when I had sour cherry and that was my regular at work, that was pretty good.
So I think for like yourself and for I or anybody else listening into this one, if you technically wanted to replicate that, it would be hard. It wouldn't be to a T or what exactly we're talking about. But I feel like you could probably do a mixture of Nemesis tea and like I want to say like sour cherry, even though it may be a little bit different. But like that's probably the closest you're going to get right now to them doing a like cherry cola for what we have out now. If you're a mixer,
You know, the one thing is that I just don't get, and for me, there's some people are like, "Oh, mix it and it's fine." And I'm like, "So you gotta mix the damn thing for
yep.
you to get it down?" It's like the thing is with mixing, it's like, listen, when it comes to everything else, it's like I'm not super into like crossovers or half and half of this, and I'm a basic kind of guy. But there's two things I don't understand. One, why would you take like for me, like for you or somebody else, they're god tier, or for me, a 5 star. Why would you mix a god tier with a god tier, or why would you mix a 5 star with a 5 star? Just because I've had some, right, where it's like 5 star flavor, 5 star flavor. You taste it and it's like, it's a 3.5 ratio or something with the ingredients. Something happens, but then it's like just like mystery. So they say you have to mix it in order for it to be well. Why can't it be good by itself? Is it crap if you can't have it by itself?
That's gonna be a tough one to make good, even with mixing. Honestly, for at least for my opinion. I've
Mop
now,
mop cleaner. Lemon
yeah,
pledge's third cousin, but edible. Like, come on, that was terrible. I know there's a lot of people that gave me crap, but I'm sorry. G Fuel Mystery was terrible.
I I'm not much of a mixer myself. I've only tried a few mixes out there. I'm more similar to you, really, and like just keep it simple. Like I bought this flavor, I want to taste that flavor. But two flavors we brought up tonight that I will admit I have mixed a couple times now. It's a out of this park flavor mix, FaZe X and Ice Shatter. Those two together make a beautiful concoction.
Now that I mean, those are some of my favorites. I mean, I will say though, I've tried the Phase X with the sour powder. Really good.
See, I would be interested to try something like that because, like, I do like the majority of their sour flavors, but like some of them, I feel like just need a little extra sour power to it. Like Phase sour Phase berry, that needs a little extra sour to it. Like
You
they,
see, I actually looked into it, and just for anyone listening, right? We're not biased by any means. Do we like our G Fuel? Yeah. Do we like our Mountain Dew and everything else? Yeah. It's just we're just calling it down the line. I mean, I myself make a good cup of coffee. I got a more energy product that makes sour powder right here. Right now I'm drinking a Juju pumpkin spice and milk, which we'll get to later on, but it's just kind of like we call it as it is. Like for me, Ma actually dropped the ball because I saw this and I did a video about a taste test for this mix with Tetris, which makes a sour Skittles flavor, and with the Phase X. But sure enough, you went onto the website and apparently it wasn't available. Like they were doing it in part of like BOGO deals for the part, and I do have a partnership with Ma, but they're kind of crap, so I kind of don't bother with it. Well, it's just awful because there's a bunch of people like Sarah, my guy Boo, this dude Carlos, this guy Alex Freed, And they're all just like, hey man, error on the websites. And I'm like, I'm gonna speak to them, see if they get back to me. And I mean, I haven't heard anything back. I'm gonna have to check some messages, all that. But I mean, get your shit together. It's like if you don't have, it's like G Fuel. It's like if the product's not there, they're not gonna show it.
Yep.
And you might have to like email customer service and they'll be like, sorry, we're out. Or you might have to go on Amazon or eBay or ask around. You know what I mean? You can't just have a product and have it sit there for months and be like, oh, sorry, we're out. What are you gonna do about it then? Either tell us out of stock, give us a restock date, something. Give us something. And if you read on the back of this, three simple freaking ingredients: citric acid, I think that's citrulline maltite 1-to-1 ratio, and malic acid. So three ingredients to make this sucker, and it's just so simple. And you got 60 scoops out of it. If you want to make it sour, one scoop. You want to freaking scream and you want it to be a killer, you add three.
Now, I don't know how much of a seller that truly was from all, even with the on/off the website not being there, was there, etc. But like, if it's just those three main ingredients, they need to watch out because you can just go buy all three of those ingredients on Amazon, literally in bags, mix them all together, and boom, you have your own. And you can probably get more for the quantity just because of what they are than what you're probably paying to pick that up from all.
I mean, it's a ratio, of course. And there's some people that don't know how to weigh it or anything else. But I mean, the reason being is just because, I mean, you got to have the ingredients on them. You know what I mean? Just like everything else, it's just how it goes. It's FDA and all that.
Oh yeah, you have to.
I mean, if it says like, lead, you'd be like, ah, hell with that. Like it has a label being like, hey, if you're pregnant or nursing, don't have this.
Good old
Anything calf.
California.
Well, not only that, but it's like they're not going to tell somebody who's pregnant or nursing to have caffeine. That's just the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody will tell you that, just being like, if it's not good for you if a pregnant woman can't have it. Do pregnant women drink coffee? No, they're not supposed to. Like doctors are gonna say, please don't. So that's just concept.
I mean, we're in the day and age you have to put those kind of labels into it because
Exactly.
you don't know what people are going to do.
Yes. Yeah. So really, as far as like the mall goes, they dropped the ball on that. But I mean, I will consider trying my own concoction of this or whatever. But I'm actually trying this right here. This let me grab the tub for a second.
I say so to go over it for everybody,
I
pretty
just
much
picked
out of
this
our
up for
original.
the Black Friday sale. They're having a sale on tubs, and I grabbed some samples as well. This is the Juju pumpkin spice. And you know well that if you're not G Fuel, like if you're Juju, Maw, probably Glitch, there's a couple others I'm probably not thinking of off the top of my head. But some of these flavors G Fuel doesn't have, and that's the way to kind of compete with these guys because it seems like everyone's going to have like a blue raspberry. You know what I mean? It seems like it's like a generic kind of thing.
It's a
Well, it's like
standard
when you had,
flavor.
yeah, but when you had pumpkin spice, Juju's the only one doing it. I mean, Maw's going to have cherry limeade available anytime, whereas G Fuel only has it available during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you think it's a good idea for them, or?
I mean, probably. So to give everyone a quick little recap, we kind of came to the decision that like Area 51, if you're looking to try it, you want our opinions. It's not that great of a flavor. Take that with a grain of salt. Try it yourself, but don't be surprised if you don't like it. Um, for me, FaZe X is my favorite, and then worst was Area 51. What about you?
The best for me is Bal Juice, and the worst is Raging Gummy Fish.
And then on that note, we now start to look into getting into our next topic of flavors per se. Other companies are doing that G Fuel isn't, and at the same time, on the related topic, should you put a label on your packaging or as is a label? Should it be mixed with milk? Should it not be? Should it be right on there?
I think it should because I'll just say this: I tried this in water, and it kind of almost tastes like grass. It sounds weird, but it's like I put it in milk. It's like, hmm, I just got splashed in the face with it. It's like when you taste it in milk, you get the pumpkin, you get the cinnamon. it's kind of like when you have like one of those pumpkin muffins or like a pumpkin like baked good.
Hmm.
That's what it tastes like. All the elements are there. Like if you have a girlfriend, then she loves it and she puts this in her coffee. It's sort of similar, but it's like water, bad. Milk, a same thing with a couple of flavors. Like you gotta label if it's like water or milk, or water and milk. Like strawberry banana, okay in water, great in milk.
I don't. So like I'm on both spectrums. I feel like it's probably more beneficial to make a mention of it. I don't feel like they technically have to, but I feel like it would definitely probably help the consumer if they're not in like other forums of people that are like, hey, you should probably try this in milk first before you try it in water. It'd probably help them have a better reception of the flavor.
Yeah.
Because like even for me, I take a lot of protein powders and whatnot, and they will like put on the labels like you can mix this with water. It's meant to be mixed with water, but it's also pretty beneficial to mix it with milk.
Yeah. It's like I've noticed with a lot of like vanilla flavors, and vanilla is mostly just protein powder, and the vanilla's there just to let you know that it's just the regular. Like some of these vanilla ones in water are just crap, and milk it's good. Same thing with some of these, like strawberry shortcake, from what I'm told from friends, it is only a milk flavor.
For when it comes to G Fuel Suspect, there's a lot of flavors and a lot of pumpable opinions that are only meant for milk. There's some that like them out there in water. No disrespect to that, it's a little crazy, but like they are 10 times better in milk. So like I recently had a sample peach cobbler for Thanksgiving. Was not anyway going to tend to mix that with water. That's a straight up milk flavor. Like if I'm having a piece of pie, I'd rather be drinking some milk with that than I would be drinking some water. That just sounds more appetizing. And let me tell you, that flavor
Ooh.
was incredible with milk. Like I just felt like I was eating a piece of peach cobbler. You could taste the cinnamon. You get a little bit of peach in there. Had a little bit of like pie crust. It was just a very good milk flavor. Now, if they would have put that on the label, like straight on the tub, hey, you should mix this with milk. That probably would have enticed me to mix it with milk first and water. If not, thankfully I know people can talk around, but there's a chance people would mix it with water and never want to touch it again.
There was a lot of people that did that. They're like, this is crap. But I think everyone just says, hey, X amount of ounces that you like, one scoop, let's go for it, shake it, flip it, pop the top, and yes or no. I think a lot of people just say water unless somebody told them otherwise.
I think generally speaking, when it comes to like your more desserty esque like flavors, you should probably try it in milk first. Unless your G Fuel Sonic Party Punch, you probably just shouldn't touch it at all. No matter if it's milk
Now,
or
I
water.
haven't had a sample of that, but I think people just want me to react to some of these things. And I mean, there's only two flavors I spit out, though. You probably know which ones they were.
That and Sonic Chili Dog.
I didn't try that, and I have no desire to try that. I will not. It was mystery and bubblegum.
Okay. See, now I'm on the opposite spectrum. I haven't tried Sonic Party Punch. I like at first when I saw the flavor profile, I'm like, this actually looks good. I'd probably try with some milk. I'd be down for this. Like I have a few protein powders that are supposed to be more like fruity pebbles or like cocoa pebbles tasting. You mix those with milk, they're astounding. That flavor, after seeing the mixed reviews and everything, not for me. I did not care to try it. I have tried Sonic Chili Dog. I drank an entire bottle of that. I shiz you not. It's not great. It's god awful. It's not as bad as you would think it to be. All right, hold the phone. It's not as bad as you would think it to be. There's definitely a meat taste there. It's not great. I will say, if anybody's curious, the burps are worse than the flavor itself. The aftertaste burps are worse.
Oh my God. And to be honest with you, I think that's one thing that should have stayed a gag gift. Jesus Christ.
I mean, we all like a meme, but you shouldn't be making a meme flavor. That's like not something I want to add to my collection. I don't want that collector box.
No. There's too many flavors they need to bring back to make a bad flavor. To me, at least. There's too many things that they vaulted, or too many things they need to bring back and keep them back, than to have a bullshit flavor, one that everyone's just going to be like, what the hell are you doing?
So now on that same topic, I know you like to diversify a little bit more than I do, but you're trying Juju right now. You're having the pumpkin spice, and you have a pretty decent like aptitude of it. Is there any other energy companies out there like Sneak or Glitch or any of them that are also doing any kind of desserty flavors you would say are better in milk or should be labeled to mix with milk?
With Ma, I haven't tried any in milk personally. I mean, they have a new flavor coming out this month, but it's really been the standard. They got a watermelon. Now, I've heard of Free Guy in milk, and they say I'm thinking about the watermelon, but they're like, "Oh, cotton candy and vanilla," and then the other part watermelon. I'm like, okay. I mean, I can't do watermelon. That's not a thing for me. But I was just kind of thinking about it, right? But I'm just kind of thinking like the milk flavors. It's like mixed berry and milk. I don't know.
I mean, you say that there's some people that love FaZe and they will put FaZe in milk, and I've tried it, and
Huh.
it's almost like a yogurty kind of flavor. It was okay for me. I wasn't a big fan. I could see where some other people like it because it's kind of like a mixed berry yogurt, but
Hmm.
it's not for me, Chief.
That's actually the first time I heard about it. I'm processing this right now, and I'm kind of just trying to think about it. I mean, huh? Fruit milk. I can imagine like a yogurt. Like I'm not sure if it'll be a Chobani or a Trix or anything like that. But it's like mixed berry. I get it. Cherry limeade. That's a no. Blue raspberry. That's a no. Uh, let's see. There's actually one. Let me see if I could pull this up. There is actually one that Maud does. It's called Rest in Peace Harambe. I
Strawberry
don't know.
banana,
It sounds like a meme. Let's see.
because I know strawberry banana for G Fuel is a great milk flavor, and it's
So
okay in water.
hear me out on this. Mango, guava, tangerine, strawberry. Believe it or not, I've tried it and I tried it in water. And to me, it tastes like a smoothie, like something you get out of the smoothie bar.
Okay, I could see it.
Personally, I thought it was good. It's like when you read it, you're like, that's too much. But I tried it because it came in a bundle, and I'm just kind of like, hey, it's a smoothie taste to it. Now, would that go in a milk? Depending on how you like your milk, I guess. I mean, like an almond milk, that might be okay. I mean, I'm usually a 1% guy. That's what we keep in the house. I mean, I'm just not so sure about that. But I mean, there's not too many milk flavors. Like, I'm just looking at Maw right now. If I'm looking at Juju, I'm not sure if I see anything else.
So
Again,
for
blue raspberry, don't know. The ice cream flavors, maybe. I'm not sure if a grapesicle goes in there. Not sure if an ice pop goes in there.
And for anybody curious, if you're looking to try peach cobbler anytime, I tried it with just regular milk. I was originally told and recommended try that with almond milk. So do yourself a favor, go out, get a carton of almond milk, try peach cobbler with that. You're gonna like it a lot more. It just adds that little bit of richness to it. It makes the flavor really show through. Um, since we're on the topic of milk flavors, G Fuel recently released during their Black Friday BOGO the raspberry pie. I didn't
Ooh,
realize
tried
that was
in that.
I didn't realize it was only for BOGO, so I missed out on it. But so far from other forum reviews is that it's a top notch flavor, and I can see it.
Gotcha. I've actually just got my confirmation tonight that's going to be shipped out now. Most likely because of the place is an hour away from my house. It's probably going to be here in like 2 or 3 days. Uh, I mean, we'll see about that one, man. But I was just wondering about that too. It's like, have you read anything if that's a water or a milk flavor?
Raspberry pie,
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely going to be a milk flavor. I would not recommend mixing with water. It's one of those like desserty flavors. Probably should go to milk right off the bat.
Hmm.
Now,
Oh,
out of like
okay.
all the desserty flavors per se that G Fuel has now, I don't know if you how many you've tried, but you're trying the Juju pumpkin spice right now. Do you
Hmm.
feel like G Fuel should do a pumpkin spice flavor, and do you feel like it would be better than Juju's?
You know, I think everything is going to have a little flavor. Like the people I know that don't like G Fuel, they get too much of a chalky taste. Like there's a difference between a powdery, a chalky, a syrupy. And for the regular person, like I remember having someone taste a little bit of my hydration. And they're like, "Is there a reason why it tastes like it's like powdery?" And I'm like, "It's a powder mix." And I'm like, "It's like, oh, well, it's a little different." And I'm like, "Well, it's like you go with regular Gatorade, it's like a syrup. I mean, you got the corn syrup in there, where it's like this is powder. You mix it, and sometimes it sits at the bottom a little bit. You shake it up a little bit more."
I mean, it is always a good thing to remember. It is all dependent on how you make your product because it is
Yes.
possible to get your uh, shaker or whatever you're mixing your stuff in to not be powdery. It's all dependent on how you're making it. Depends on how much mixture you're using to the size of the bottle or the size of the shaker you have. Personally, you're going to taste most of that chalky or powderiness if you're just straight up mixing it in a bottle of water.
I mean, and not only that, but I will admit, and I did say in viewer discretion, it's like this isn't water of my choice, and it's around the same level to keep it consistent. So it's like when people see me pour a sample into a tall boy, some people are like, "How much water do you have in there?" It's like I use the same amount of water every single time. I
Hmm.
might use like like an ounce or two less for a new flavor in case it's like a watered down type of thing. But for me, it's just kind of like I got the water and ice, like I would make it just like everything else, and I'm pouring it in, and I'm giving you my 2 cents. As far as like pumpkin spice, though, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but with the it seemed like everything started to go downhill in September when everyone's just like, "Hey, we have a shipping container crisis right now."
Hmm.
We got I don't want to get political, but it's just like we got multiple tankers that are just sitting on the water, some docked, some not, and they need to be unloaded. And G Fuel, we saw the shakers for Halloween. We saw the Frankenstein and the pumpkin.
I got
And
both.
we're, yes, I got both as well. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, when are these going to be released? And anyone in marketing will tell you that you do not release something like that the day of Halloween. But I love when they release the date and in the parentheses they're like, sorry, still on the ship.
Hmm.
I have this expression with a lot of people called Soto, shits on the ocean. Like, everything you can imagine. Like Victoria's Secret actually said just for one department, they had 90,000 items stuck on the water in just the lingerie department.
I believe it.
Crazy, crazy.
I mean, it's a crazy thing we're going with now because like even shipping prices are raising.
Absolutely. And we know why. But back on task, because of the container crisis, it did seem like almost like G Fuel kind of played it a little bit safe. It's like, okay, you had the phase flavor BOGO event where it's just like, hey, reskin, chug rug, and pick a phase flavor. Which, if you like phase X, Bal, Juice, Raging Gummy, Fish, whatever, it was great. Then there was, we're doing a candy BOGO. Peach rings, brain matter, still gotta try that. It was like, if it's a candy flavor, we got you. Which I don't know why Tetris wasn't on that list because that's definitely a candy flavor.
I thought it was.
I don't think it was, but I could be wrong. I
I
could
feel
be
like I
very wrong.
believe it was on there because it is a candy flavor.
Okay. Well, whatever the case, right? I expected them, or maybe I thought they would, but they didn't. And there was a lot of people saying, hey, where's the G Fuel pumpkin spice? And ironically, not until around November time did I see Juju come out with this. Like they have a horchata over there, which they say is a milk flavor again. Like I'm looking around and there's only let's see, there's 10 flavors and one is sold out. That's a pina colada.
To be mixed with milk.
No, this is just regular what they have.
Okay.
Like as far as like tubs, the pina colada is sold out. But I'm looking around here. Green apple, no. Grapesicle, I'm having second thoughts. Watermelon, no. Cherry bomb, no. Horchata, yes. Tropical juggernaut, no. Sour anything should not go in milk.
So even on like the similar thing you just brought up around the Halloween BOGO time of the candy flavors, they released candy corn. I don't
Yep,
know if you got that or not,
I did
but
not.
that's definitely a flavor you want to mix with milk. In water, you have to be like a diehard candy corn fan to like it in water. It is a lot better with milk because it's a very vanilla-y flavor.
Hmm. Yeah, vanilla, marshmallow, and caramel, right?
Something along those lines. I don't remember an exact breakdown, but it's definitely vanilla.
Yeah, and I think this blew a lot of people out of the water because I think people are just like, let me eat a piece of candy corn. It's going to be the same thing but in liquid. But what's like when you read the description, it said we got vanilla, marshmallow, caramel. There's like everyone's like, ooh. So candy corn was literally just a marketing thing, and then they put in something completely different, and it worked.
I mean, it does taste pretty on point to a candy corn per se. It's not like something dead on exact, but like they for that kind of flavoring, 'cause it'd be a little bit harder. They did a pretty decent job at it, but it's definitely a milk flavor.
Seems that way.
Now, I don't know how much of experiences you have with the more desserty flavors with G Fuel, but in your humble opinion, if they were to make a pumpkin spice one like Juju from prior flavors experiences, do you feel like it would be better?
Do I think it would be better? Um, it's really hard to tell because how there's like some flavors that are very unique.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, if you take something like black cherry only comes one way, unless you want to make it sour or not. But that's, whatever. But it's like when you taste black cherry anything, doesn't matter the brand, it usually tastes the same, unless you add something else to it. Juju so far, I'm only halfway done with it. I might drain the rest of it if it gets warm by accident, but this is solid right here. But if you go by, because there's a lot of people like yourself faithful to G Fuel,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of people that would be very happy with it. And if they wanted to, like I know they had a poll saying about candy apple, I think they could knock that out of the park too.
Oh yeah, they could easily knock a candy apple out of the park. They got caramel down from the candy corn. They do pretty decent like sour apple and the shamrock. They could easily do a candy corn.
Yeah, they could do a pumpkin spice, a candy corn, a candy apple. I mean, it's a bare question of what can they not do. The only thing that we would think that they could possibly not do is again that cola flavor, which I just think they can do it. I just think it's gonna be a lot harder than it looks.
So within reason, if you were to pick a milk flavor to see these companies to start coming out with a more desserty type flavor, what would you personally try or want? So like a good example is like if you would have told me G Fuel was making a fruity pebble or fruity whatever kind of cereal flavor, I'd be down for it. That sounds amazing in milk. They came out sound like party punches we brought up. It is not good in my opinion. They really missed the ball with that one. It just was very weird. It was a mixed kind of flavoring for me personally, like I've had a lot of protein powders that are more cereal esque, and they do a great job. So I don't know where G Fuel missed the mark on that. But like me personally, if there's ever kind of a flavor I'd hope a company would make, because like similar to what we're talking about, like we would want G Fuel or other companies to try experimenting, like maybe the pumpkin spice. For me personally, and I feel like they could do it after seeing like peach cobbler, raspberry pie. I think they would do a great job of doing like a lemon meringue pie flavor. To me, that sounds good
Ooh.
and within
Yeah.
reason, not like just some kind of crazy out there dessert where I'm like, I want cookie fudge brownie. Like, no, like that may be a little far out there, but like a lemon meringue pie sounds doable.
Actually, I got one that hit you hard right now. Now, one thing I actually made before, I'm not sure if you've said that, but if you've seen the video or anything, but take a shaker, do your milk of preference, a scoop of strawberry banana, a squirt of Hershey chocolate syrup, and give that. I mean, you might want to stir a little bit on the bottom with a spoon, but what about a sundae flavor?
Like
Like,
like a banana split.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, give me a little bit of strawberry, a little bit of banana, a little bit of vanilla.
They could do it. And I feel like if you mix it with almond milk, probably add a little bit of nuttiness to it and make a real good
Yeah.
banana split flavor.
Oh, absolutely. Like, it sounds like a lot, but I think that's one of those things where it's like high risk, high reward. And it's just kind of like, if you're on a diet and you need to cut back, boom.
Like even on that same topic, I can tell you that's why I'm thankful that G Fuel or all these other companies make these kind of desserty flavors, because I have a terrible sweet tooth and I'm somebody that eats pretty clean. I hit the gym regularly. I have a very strict diet, etc. And like I have a terrible sweet tooth, as I said. So when they have like peach cobbler, and I can just make up a shaker of that, and it carves or at least curves into my sweet tooth, and I can have that instead. It helps a lot, and it would be the same thing as you're saying, bringing up. It probably help a lot of people curve the flavor or curve the sweet tooth as well.
Yeah. Only thing is, you just don't want to have like if it's late at night, you may not want it to be caffeinated. That's about it.
That depends on who you are. I don't mind drinking some caffeine late at night.
I know you don't.
I'm the caffeinated. I'm the true caffeinated one of the group.
Very, very.
Like even
But
today.
one thing, I'm not. I'll tell you what, I think we got time for one more segment.
All right, I'm down for it.
So as far as the hydration line, it started with just like one, and then it's just like I don't know if we should do this, and then it's just like okay, we got one. Blue Rocket Pop, Blue Gatorade, strawberry lemonade, the dragon fruit, and then it's just like, hey, let's do a FaZe Berry one, and now they got the one with Spider Man. So, did you want them to expand the hydration line outside of the little? Let's just be honest, it was like the fizz bottle type thing. Should we expand more of the hydration line, or is there like another line you thought about for G Fuel?
So on that regards, yes and no. When it comes to like the actual tubs, I don't know what it is. The tubs, I haven't tried a single hydration tub. They just like they don't interest me. I typically when I buy G Fuel, I want my caffeine. But recently they have the little Amazon hookup to where they have the bottle flavors of Chug Rug, Sour Chug Rug, Bebop Gone Wrong. It's also Phase X, Yuzu, and M Fan Punch. And I have
Oh
bought
yes, the
all.
Yuzu.
I've
Yep.
bought all of them, but the M Fam because I have a ton of cans of those.
Hmm.
But mark my words on it, and for anybody listening, if you're a fan of Sour Chug Rug, you have not experienced Chug Rug until you've had the hydration bottles. That's a bold statement, I know. I enjoy the tubs. I love the cans. The hydration bottles is the best tasting form of sour chug rug. And even on like the similar topic, I don't mind having caffeine late at night, but when it's about midnight time and I'm like, I want that taste of G Fuel because they have great flavors, but I don't want the caffeine, the hydration bottles or even the tubs are great for that. I would highly recommend the sour chug rug. I've tried Beatbot. It's a pina colada gummy kind of flavor. It's not bad. I actually like it. I'm not a big coconut guy. FaZe X, again,
Hmm.
we've stated tonight that like FaZe X is one of my top FaZe flavors. It's a top flavor for me in general. The hydration bottle of those are also very good. Now I have Yuzu on the way, and I haven't tried that one yet. We can get into that another day. But like, I personally like the idea of the hydration flavors. Not everybody wants caffeine all the time. Plus, if someone is a loyal G Fuel fan, they're like, look, let's be honest, I drink a lot of caffeine. I need to cut back, but I still want those great tastes to keep me going and wanting to come back. I think those are a solid option for somebody. It's like I'm going to take a week or two off of caffeine. Let me get some Chug Rug bottles. Again, they're astounding. Do yourself a flavor. Get it? Haha. Go on Amazon. Go get you some. They're $20 for a case. It's outstanding. Like you have not truly tasted Chug Rug until you've had the hydration bottles.
I mean, for me, I originally started drinking G Fuel when me and my father we would go to BJ's and we would get we ended up going to 12 ounces eventually, but he would usually just keep like two cans of Red Bull in his cooler. He's a UPS driver, and with a lot of stops, like during the holidays, man, like before COVID was a thing, during the holidays there'd be times where on his route he would have to stop at 200 to 250 places, do as much as he can. And then when COVID started, it would be, the same thing. It's like 200, 250 stops a day. So he would just keep one in there, guzzle it down, and just keep it going. But then it just like started to add up and up and up. And I'm just kind of like, what do we do, man? Like my father liked the blue ice, the black on blackberry, the tropical rain. But like during the BOGO sales, it'd just be nice because I would just order 6 tubs and sometimes he'd use it, sometimes he wouldn't, but I'd just be like, hey, here you are, just slide across the table and that'd be it. But then like we'd be buying also cases of Gatorade Zero, And to me, that was the same thing as like the hydration tub. You look on the ingredient list, same thing as Gatorade Zero. So again, don't have to go to the store. A lot easier to carry around. It's just like you want some hydration. You just you grab one of these. I just got myself depending on again water to powder ratio, and I just take one of these to work with me. I got a little left over.
It is also good to know because I did bring up the hydration bottles and we brought up the tubs. The tubs you do mix with water. Now, the hydration bottles is technically and actually sparkling water that they use. It's not just air quote water. It's sparkling water. They're sparkling water flavors. I do think it would
Oh,
be a good idea to expand the line. I think it could be a good niche. Now they may not sell the most of it because everybody knows they go to G Fuel like myself. You want that caffeine, that's what we're here for. But I do think it's a great side option for somebody that's either even sensitive to caffeine, but they love the flavors and they want to stick with it, or somebody trying to cut back on the caffeine. I do think they should stick around with it and keep trying it. I know the previous tubs or like even their side other flavors because like I remember had the Star Wars series that launched not too long ago on Disney Plus, which was the Bad Batch show. They came out with special flavors for that, which was a black cherry. They called it the Bad Batch. I didn't try it because I wasn't into hydration then, but I saw these recent flavors and I tried them. And even with trying these, it may make me go back and I want to try the Bad Batch because I think these current bottles are very well done. They taste great. They taste even better than, in my opinion, some of the actual powder form. So like Phase X, very good. I will like not shut up about it. You can tell me to shut up. It's great. You gotta try sour chug rug. It's so good. It is the best form. You think you've had like the better comparison of going from a tub to a can of sour chug rug? Now you have to try the bottle. Hydration bottles, you have the Teach seal of approval. You are not going to be disappointed. You are literally going to take the first sip and say, wow.
all right. So here's one, and Electric Shock actually said this one, and I actually am like, wait a minute, is that really the case? And he goes, yeah, and it's the weirdest thing ever. If you take Phase X in energy powder, hydration powder, and the sparkling, it's the same flavor, but it all tastes different.
He's got a point though.
Is there anything ever like that? Because I definitely taste the best of it. I think is in energy form. The hydration is good, but it's a little different. And then every time you add like sparkling water to something else, I mean, they do something a little different with the formula. It's something different on its own. I mean, I haven't tried any of the bottles. It just doesn't interest me personally, but I respect it.
So you could technically even say that for like sour chug rug. It's technically the same flavor. It just only gets better. And with the point of when it comes to um, Phase X, I haven't actually tried the regular tubs of the hydration. I've only had normal energy tubs and then as well the new bottles. If you were to go on the G Fuel website right now, they technically label each flavor as to what they're supposed to be, and they will tell you it's more of like a concoction of passion fruit and some other stuff, while we all know it's truly just a white Gatorade.
Yeah, like
Um,
passion fruit, grapefruit, and something else. No.
But really, in my opinion, when you try the hydration bottle, and it's why it tastes a bit different, you don't get so much a straight white cherry Gatorade. You do get a little bit more of that kind of passion fruit, and the grapefruit really outstands. But it still has like that reminiscing taste of Phase X, like the normal energy tubs, but it is different. So, like, Shock does have a point when he says that.
Yeah, it's just like every element is different. It's like the caffeine kick, like the yuzu, hydration versus energy, a little bit different. A little bit different.
I haven't had the Yuzu hydration bottles yet. They're still in the mail. They should be here in about a week or so. We can put that review up for you guys. But to me, Yuzu in energy tub form tastes like Crystal Light lemonade. It's a very watered down lemonade. It's a little bit more citrusy. Now, I have seen mixed reviews on the hydration bottles, and at this current time, a lot of people are calling it Diet Mountain Dew.
Diet Mountain Dew. Well, if it's actually Diet Mountain Dew, I mean, yuzu is Japanese lemon.
Yep.
I mean, if Diet Mountain Dew, but without the caffeine and everything else, I mean, didn't we just say could they replicate Mountain Dew if they wanted to?
I mean, we did bring up those points, and this may be them like stepping into that territory. They've already knocked like voltage out of the water, so this could be that.
So that just means it's I mean, look at the flavors they've done. I mean, they've done a black cherry, they've done a sour cherry, they've done the live wire. So if that's the case, then that could just be like, hey man, gloves are off. It's funny because remember, it's like G Fuel was trying to come up with like become the best lemon lime during the OG Black Tub days, and everyone's trying to get Mountain Dew Halo Game Fuel. But sure
Rip.
enough, now
Rest
the
in
tables have
peace.
yeah, the tables have turned now.
If there, since we're on the topic of least new things and hydration, is there a current flavor in normal energy powder form that you wouldn't mind seeing become a hydration powder?
Tough. There's definitely more than one. I mean, would a Ball Juice Hydration be banging? Yeah, but there's so more. There's so many more. Probably some I haven't even thought about, like cherry limeade for when summer comes.
See, and that even then bring up the argument is that couldn't you technically release every single flavor in just a hydration form and strip out the caffeine?
You could, yeah. I mean, you basically go by sales
Well, of
and you
course.
go by the popular ones. But technically, you can make a hydration of every single flavor you wanted to. You can.
I I'd personally be okay with that. Maybe that's one way that they help get us back some vaulted flavors that don't need to be vaulted. Maybe not. Who knows? Like me personally, if you're just now listening in, first time as this is our first episode, I'll say straight up, my top two favorite G Fuel flavors are peach mango and peach iced tea. A thing I would love to see for a hydration flavor though would be hype sauce, which is a raspberry lemonade. I think that would
Ooh,
be a banging hydration bottle.
absolutely. Can't knock that. I mean, that somehow just squeezes in. Like, even if you're not a lemonade guy, if you like raspberry, that's just so great.
See, I'm a huge lemonade guy, so a lot of the flavors that they say, hey, this is X mixed with lemonade, I'm down to try it. I went, and as soon as they tweeted out, they're like, hey, here's this location near you that actually has radioactive lemonade, the new Spidey flavor. I drove 20, 30 minutes to that store here in Michigan to go pick up those cans to try it. And it's a bubblegum lemonade. We dogged on it. Bubblegum's a bad flavor. It's bad. Do yourself a favor. Go try radioactive lemonade. It's actually not that bad. Bubblegum's a lot better.
It's actually not that bad.
Nope, it's about a 75-25 mix. The bubblegum, like, it's there. You can notice it, but it's nothing compared to, like, the bubblegum in normal tub form.
So
Nothing
is it
like.
is it like one of those things where it's like you take like a bubblicious gum, it tastes like that flavor?
Almost. And the original like flavor description of it really makes sense now. They originally were calling it a bubblegum ice pop lemonade, and it makes sense.
Hmm.
In a weird way of thinking about it, if you were to actually just take, if I don't know how the heck you're gonna get it, but if you had some kind of bubblegum flavoring, put in a little bit of lemonade, put that into like some ice cubes, throw in the freezer, and you're gonna like suck on that for a while as popsicle, it does taste straight up like a bubblegum popsicle lemonade.
Actually, it's funny you say that because I was drinking the other night over the weekend. They threw in a extra sample packet for me from Juju, but I'm just trying to for podcasts and other talk and everything else. And again, none of us are compensated really. I mean, I've never, even though I'm partnered with them all, I've never made a dime from them.
I've never made a dime from G Fuel, and I've been with
So
them as the main company I go to for eight
so
years.
so there we go. We eliminate bias the best we can. It's like unless someone pays us to shut us up, we're just gonna say fair game. But it's like grapesicle, right, from Juju. Think about a purple popsicle that you get as a kid. It could be a popsicle brand. It could be just like a purple icy with the rainbow colors right there. But that's what you literally taste. Like strawberry slushy, where you somehow taste like the frozen aspect of it,
The slushiness.
and then you taste like the flavored syrup. You get that. Imagine like strawberry slushy, but with grape.
So just grape slushy.
Almost, yeah. And I mean the good grape, like the Fanta and Crush grape, not like the cough
Okay.
syrup grape.
Okay, I can see that. That would actually be pretty good. I'd be down to try that because I'm a big fan of
Yeah,
strawberry slushy.
yeah. I mean that was pretty good, man. It's like that's one of those where it just hits home. Yeah. So, man, we've been here for basically an hour or so. Did you want to? Was there anything you wanted to cap this thing off with, or did you have another topic?
I think, I mean, it's a good point to go off of for tonight. First good trial point, see everything to go over. We talked about Area 51. We both kind of agreed it's not the greatest of flavors. They really kind of let it down, especially with the FaZe label slapped on it. For ourselves, Relly's favorite FaZe flavor was Battle Juice, pineapple. Least favorite was Raging Gummy Fish. For Teach myself, it was Phase X. That's my favorite. My least favorite so far has been Area 51, so that's what I called it as. We went over talking about should they slap, if it should be in milk or in water or both on a label for any kind of product, whether it's G Fuel or any other kind of energy supplement. And then as well, we brought up other ideas for possible milk flavors. What would it be kind of best in? Almond milk, regular milk, etc. And then we just hit off on the points of hydration bottles. Is it a good idea? Should they stick with it? What new flavors would we like to see? And even more than that. And there's always more to come. This is just the first episode of Caffeinated. There's a lot more to come, a lot more to see. We're just getting our feet dipped into the powder here. We got more to do.
Absolutely. So again, guys, we got a lot of topics going on. If there's anything you want to review us about, anything G Fuel related, any other power related, any other suggestions, where if it's a mixture, a flavor, and we don't hold back here. So we'll be back sometime. We're gonna get this consistently, but this is episode 1 of Caffeinated. I'm Relly, my co-host is Teach, and we're taking off. Everybody, take it easy and get jamming. Enjoy your games, your streams, and just life in general. Have a good one. We're sending off.